Wow, that exploding head means one thing. That means we are back in the Captain's Quadrant in the Agony booth. It's one of my favorite things, and I love that scream. Ah! So I put it on my soundboard.
Is that why it was going on forever? That's what I wanted. You're banned from the soundboard, Joe.
Oh, no.
Somebody break one of his fingers, please.
Oh.
The only way to stop it.
Well, welcome back to the Captain's Quadrant. I'm your host, Captain Joe Dub. If you are visiting from the first time from Trek Long Island, I appreciate you coming and joining us today. And I appreciated your fun shares with me on the video, and you'll be able to see that on Saturday. But I would like to not be remiss and introduce my wonderful co-hosts, Jason Squared, Jason Roy Gaston, and VHS Jace, Spectrum Sanctum Overlord, and there's something about Harry. They're always having fun with these names. And we have a very special guest this week. This is Phillip Brian.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. You want to say here? Want to say a few things about yourself and your channel and all those fun things?
Oh, my name is Phillip Brian. My handle on YouTube is This Phillip Brian. I host a show called MattersWith, where we discuss novels, books, or novels and books, the same thing. Documentaries, television shows, and movies with you.
All right, fantastic.
There's also quite a bit of Trek on there.
Yeah, that's why we pulled you in, because it's we're like-minded when it comes to Star Trek 6. So I was like, hey, you want to come on? Let us hop into the synopsis of this Agony booth episode. Star Trek Voyager, favorite son. Ensign Kim's DNA changes, bringing with it memories of the region, while a planet of alien women claim him as a favorite son returning home to mate.
Just like a salmon.
Just like a salmon. Oh man, this episode.
You know, the more I think about it, he really is like a salmon in this episode, because he gets this urge to go home. His physical appearance changes.
Yeah.
And he just wants to spread his little hairy eggs all over the place.
And he was like Trill-esque. It was like,
really kind of was
a knockoff of the Trill early on. I mean,
it's cheap makeup, you know. How can we make an alien look like an alien without spending a whole lot of money? Someone get the magic markers.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole episode's about not having a lot of money, I think.
It was so, like, the intro and like maybe the first 10 minutes were so good, and it was like, oh, maybe it's not so bad, because it's been years since I rewatched Voyager, and we're gonna get into what WTF did we just watch. Let's do that.
Oh, speaking of hairy eggs.
But the more I see that clip, this is more exactly how I feel after watching the episode.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start with Jason Roy Gaston. What WTF did we just watch?
Oh, we watched what could have been a really great episode.
Yeah.
If they had not, I don't know. Sometimes the runner kind of blows it at the finish line. They slow down or they kind of stumble a little bit. This episode was leading the pack. It had its hands out, T-posing as it was getting ready to cross the finish line, tripped over its own feet, went off the track, and hit a busload of nuns and orphans and exploded them all.
Wow,
it was such a fumble. I loved the way this episode started out. I was like, yes, it drops us almost right into the action, where it almost feels like we missed 2 minutes of the episode starting out. And right there, you're already kind of off kilter, wondering what's going on. And then Harry kind of goes a little nuts and starts firing the phasers at these friendly aliens that show up. Incidentally, this is the most chill bridge I've ever seen. Harry's just sitting there firing phasers. Janeway and Tuvok and Chakotay are just standing there, just looking at him going, Harry, no, don't.
Like, get the spray bottles.
If this had been Kirk's Enterprise, he would have been over there himself, grabbing Chekhov by the lapels, like, throwing him off, taking it over. I don't know. I just feel like the bridge crew could have been a little bit more proactive. But yeah, I dug the mystery. even though I don't feel that this is a very good episode, this oh, I did it. I finally got cosmic, Mom. Even though I don't feel that this was a very strong episode, I think it was a very good Harry Kim episode, a character who I believe VHSJ said last week is a very underserved character on Voyager. It's also the best acting that we've seen out of Garrett Wang in a very long time. And there's many things I kind of wish would have carried on for this episode. But as we all know, ArcVace television bad whenever Rick Berman is in charge. And that is, WTF did we just watch?
Shots fired.
Yes.
All right, Philip.
He knows where to find me.
I think that I agree the cold open was pretty good. But I think it started to lose steam well before the finish line. I'm watching this, and I hadn't seen this episode in a long time. I mean, a long time, maybe 20 years. Like it had been a long time since I'd seen this episode. And I started, I was like, I don't really remember this very well. Then we get into it, and I'm like, am I watching an episode of Buck Rogers? It's some sort of 1970s sci-fi 13-year-old boy fantasy going on here. This is not. It reminds me of episodes of Buck Rogers where he'd be taken captive by that beautiful woman in charge of whatever the armada was and held there. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And there were moments where I wanted to look at Ensign Kim and say, "We thought you was a toad." Because it just, when he started talking about the sirens, it reminded me of, "Oh, brother, where art thou?"
Yeah. I am the man of constant sorrow.
I seen trouble all the way.
Cut.
Remember, I'll kick you out of this room.
Sorry, you started the bluegrass thing.
Yeah,
I'm like Bender. I'm gonna be just go be running round the mountain.
All right, BHSG.
I didn't like it.
No.
Well, look, to basically go on what I was saying before, it is a cheap episode. And I get the feeling, and I'll go back to the writer's room, always use this example. Someone had a board of really great cold opens. That's all they had. So they've decided to grab a really good concept, a cold open of deja vu. Because it's an interesting idea that you are instinctively doing things and you don't know why. That is great. But that's where they left it. The episode for me works. The moment we see the shot of the planet, it's over for this episode for me. It goes completely into TOS territory with really misogynistic stereotypes, male and female. So I'm just thinking, it's episode 20, season 3. Producers go, we have no money, people. No money, not even enough to pay for a new writer to come in and write it. Let's just work with what we've got. Because you think about it, you've got one prosthetic makeup, a little bit of other makeup, a couple of CGI shots, and then everything else is just inside, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. You know, so it is kind of a cheap episode. I will also agree with Jason in regards to Garrett Wang. His performance was very strong in this. And Jason, I think you're being a bit unfair to say it's his best performance. I think he's consistent throughout the series. It's for some reason they just take a giant dump on Harry Kim as a character. I think I even asked you yesterday about, you know, did they have promotions in Voyager? Because it's always bugged me that he was never promoted. And you confirmed, Jason, yes, people have been demoted and promoted.
Yes.
So they just continue to take a dump on poor Harry.
Garrett Wang tells a story where he went to Rick Berman and said, "Why hasn't Harry Kim been promoted yet?" And Rick Berman apparently told him, "Well, somebody has to be the ensign."
Wow. Day player.
No, they don't.
Player.
Miles O'Brien'd him.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Forever Chief. Forever in our hearts.
Forever Chief.
Like I said earlier, I felt like this started out really strong. I thought it was going to go someplace really cool. And I was like thinking, because it's been so long since I've seen it, maybe I judged it poorly. And then I got to the instead of Strange New Worlds, let's say Strange New 50 Shades of Harry. And I was like, where is this going? And then my lady comes in the room with our science officer, and it was like, she's like, what are you watching? Is this like a fan's
Nothing.
romance novel. It's just like, this is weird. Who wrote this? So it just falls off the rails. And then, Harry gets pummeled, and we're thinking, okay, this is
I was going to say, I didn't see that scene, but it alluded to him getting pummeled.
Yeah, he was. They were starting to beat him with those paddles. I thought for sure it was
paddles.
Again, it is a very. It's appealing to a very specific demographic there. I like to call this the killer stick chick episode.
Killer stick chick.
Where they couldn't even afford like phaser fire, so they just hit him with sticks.
Yeah, because did you notice? I don't know if it's just me. Maybe Philip can jump in here too. Did they change the way the transporter CGI
it looked different? It looked different. Yeah,
right?
It looked different. There was a lot changed in this because the episode we saw, because after I watched this, I thought, let me look at this up. It's not the episode that was planned or that was written.
Ooh.
So maybe there were, maybe you're right, there were budgeting issues, but then when there's budgeting issues, you should do a bottle episode where everything takes place on the ship versus this really just bad episode. Like they changed the entire ending. It is not, and the plot was supposed to be a continuous plot for the character of Harry, to give him an arc that he was actually going to be an alien, and they just nixed that idea.
I'm glad they did, actually.
I kind of like the arc would have been kind of fun.
I agree. I think that it would have been a really good thing to have on the show.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of know why they didn't do it.
Because he still wouldn't get promoted.
Well, this is also
I make fun.
This is around the end of the third season, and the executive producers knew that they were about to cut a character.
Oh,
and I know that they were debating it was either going to be Kess or Harry Kim.
No, really?
And
that's right.
Yeah, Garrett Wong and his agent did something I think kind of brilliant to save the character. And his agent lobbied really hard to get him named as one of the top 100 most attractive people in Hollywood. Oh. And so he got his picture. I think it was in either Time or People magazine.
People does.
And
I know.
that is basically why we still have Harry Kim and we lost Kess.
Wow, that's a fun nugget, man.
Can I just say about Kess? She has a tiny little moment in this episode.
Yeah,
and the moment I saw her,
I am here.
Yeah, but it's that moment. She just had a tiny moment. I thought that's when Kess was at her best. Being that kind of not in screen time, just in how she was. That's what I got from it.
Okay, I actually have a note about that small Kess. Kess shows up, talks to Harry, and Harry says, "You're right," and then leaves. Yeah. And that whole conversation was so useless and added nothing to the plot. You could tell they added it because they had to take something else out that was going to cost them more money. So it was like, let's put Jennifer Lynn in her makeup and have her give Harry a pep talk. Well, Harry, don't feel that way. You're right. Leave.
This is probably where the actress was getting a bit problematic too, wasn't it, around this period?
I think so, but I'm going to defend Jennifer Lynn. She was going through some stuff. She went through some stuff, and I'm a big advocate for mental health and taking care of your mental health. And we see what it does to people whenever they don't. Mm-hmm. Right. And I know we haven't heard from her in quite a long time. I hope she got the help that she needed. I liked Kess. I like Jennifer Lynn. I really hope that she's okay now.
It's a shame because if that show was made today, the support the studio and everyone would have given her would have been far more, because even in the late 90s, we as a society in the Western world didn't really have a handle on how to treat that properly.
Yes, it's a huge stigma, and I'm glad it did not. I know it kind of knocked her down. I'm glad it didn't beat her, because it could have easily done that as well. And it would have been
I always liked Kess and the Doctor's relationship quite a lot through Voyager.
I loved that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of issues with the poor lady, and I just think that it was a victim of the time, because, like you said, that was nail on the head. If that happened today, they would have really.
Well, the other thing is, like Harry Kim, they didn't know how to really handle her as a character.
Yeah,
and fans are cruel. They're cruel people.
Yes.
Yep.
Gotcha.
The Kes and the Doctor's relationship, that is the only storyline that she had that I ever really liked at all. And in fact, and I know I'm not alone in this. Anything the Doctor was involved in Voyager just made it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
There's a scene in this episode particularly where he's explaining and how it's basically all a hoax, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's this performance. He's delighted that he has all this news. If you actually watch it, he's almost smiling as he's delivering this information. And I had to laugh at that because it's like the Doctor being very proud of himself that he was able to do this. And that's what I loved about Robert Picardo's performances were always nuanced in a way. And he's great, isn't he? And it's an episode that really highlights the MVPs of that series in this episode, because it's so clear that Janeway and Robert Picardo so stand above everyone else in regards to them nailing their own characters.
Right.
There's an enthusiasm to everything Robert Picardo did on Voyager that was just fantastic. I know this is a Harry Kim episode. I just gotta say Robert Picardo was awesome in every episode.
There's always that one actor on every show that just anytime they're in a scene, they just light up the room, and he is Voyager's spotlight. He comes in and just light just flows around him, and I love even the bad Doctor episodes. I just love them just because of his performance.
And it's funny because even in a room with 100, 200 other people, he's still the biggest light in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I did some conventions for the past 2 weeks, and I met him. Had the opportunity to meet him, and it was really nice. It was just like funny, and he got into like different aspects of theater and everything, and it was a highlight for sure.
I met Robert and Michael Dorn at the same time. They were together. I'm such a big TNG fan, and Worf and Spock are my two favorite characters in all of Trek. And Michael Dorn asked me where a good Italian restaurant or an Olive Garden was. And I remember saying, and Robert Picardo was standing right next to him, and I said, do you want a good Italian restaurant or do you want an Olive Garden? And this is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Michael Dorn chuckled, but Robert Picardo, smiled big. And I was like, yeah, so I'm making Worf and the Doctor laugh here.
Yeah,
this was over 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great moment, man. That's
I tried to crack
that story so many times.
I tried to crack a joke to Brent Spiner, and I flubbed it so badly that I probably just turned red and took my autograph and left.
I couldn't even tell Brent Spiner my name when I spoke to him. Could you say?
You live too.
You boilered it. Yeah,
I boilered it for sure.
I said I met Crocodile Dundee once because we get no track actors down here, mate.
That's not enough.
I'm still curious whether Australia's a prison colony in the future, isn't it?
I think so. I think it went reverted back to a prison colony.
Yeah, reverted back to a prison colony. Yeah. What the hell?
It's like New York City and Escape from New York. They've just walled it off.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's being run by kangaroos and the whatever the most venomous snake is that week.
Remember, true story. We lost a war against emus here. So
well, yeah, they're terrifying.
Yeah, I think I would lose to them too. They're pretty scary.
I've actually driven a long one and then going at full speed with faster than the four-wheel drive I was in. I was going 80 Ks or whatever.
Oh, my God. That's 40 miles per hour. Jesus.
Yeah, mate. They were banking it.
Oh, my God. Well,
you silly Australians with your made-up units of speed. My God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, kilometer, the metric system. It's wacky.
Don't you know that we measure our speed around here by constitutions and freedoms?
You can sing glorious songs of battles with the emu, along with the Klingons versus the Tribbles.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to say hello to our friends here in the chat room. We've got Cosmic Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
And then we've got Nita saying hello to Cosmic Mom.
Hello, our sci-fi queen mother. She's
Queen
probably
Mother.
going to beat me for that, but sci-fi queen mother.
Well, she's going to beat you either way, so it's fine.
Sarah is here saying hello. And then my church. Hi, Kosi. How are you? Thanks. I'll be back in church Sunday. Yes, I will be.
We have a church watching. We need to be on our best behavior.
I'm with this lot, mate.
Hello, boys. How are you guys? We are well. My mother says hello to Philip. Now, Mom, don't hit on Philip, okay? Yes.
He was a salmon.
He was a salmon for sure. Yeah. That was a good point. Why didn't Tuvok stun him or something? It was just
he wouldn't have to. Just walked over there and punched him. I mean, come on. He's got that crazy Vulcan strength. He's basically the equivalent of a gorilla.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
A very calm gorilla.
When did this air originally? This sounds like a 90s cocaine stream.
97.
97. You
was
were right
Cosmic Mom on cocaine? Joe, that would explain so much about you.
Look, this is a great segue for me. A lot of people have been asking me what's going on with Teddy. So
yes.
Run my segment. It's that time. Now, last time we saw Teddy was stuck on an island, remember? Making sweet love to the Wilson ball.
Yeah.
We don't have to show again. Thankfully, I don't know what you did, Joe, but you got him stateside again, which is wonderful. But sending him to Vegas probably was a poor choice.
He's probably coming with me.
I don't know, but I don't think you were paying attention because I think the boy likes to party a bit much. So you may have to look after him.
Oh, no.
So that's what I mean. Like, he's doing coke, man.
Look out.
I'm just thankful it wasn't off strippers, breasticles or something.
Yeah.
It's
but like everything in Vegas. Yeah, like he had one of those nights, but I don't know if you're aware now because when you have a crazy night at Vegas, this eventually happens. So just let you know, he's married to a Chihuahua named Charlene. I believe she has 8 pups.
Nice.
So I'm just wishing the happy nuptials best of luck. So
thank you. Yeah.
That was it for this completely useless spot called this. In real time, that was a moment Philip went, why did I come on this show?
I was thinking, are the Teddy adventures, are they like TOS where all these horrible things happen and you didn't carry any of the emotion into the next episode?
Oh,
or
yeah,
like Discovery where you
Teddy's...
carry everything to the next episode.
Yeah, everything's kind of coming forward. He is still a right-wing Scientologist with a bit of a drug dependency issue.
So it's more like Deep Space Nine, where you can like betray the entire crew and become evil, and the next week you're welcome back into the fold.
Yeah, totally. Anything can happen with Teddy.
Yeah, very true. Very true. There's a really good comment here from Sarah. What happens in Vegas gets shown by the Agony booth. I'm in trouble.
Absolutely.
Only if you're Teddy, all right? Yeah. Because this is the thing, Philip, I'm aware. Teddy is apparently beloved, all right? Yes. So everyone goes, he's such a cute dog and all that. I call bullshit. I know he's got a dark side. I've spent the last few weeks showing his dark side, and I will continue to. So,
in Teddy's defense, though, he is kind of leaning away from evil and just more into shenanigans.
Yeah. I mean, there is, I'm wishing him the best of luck. I think this is a journey of redemption for Teddy more than anything.
Yeah, this is the turning point. You got to hit rock bottom, you marry below your belt.
Before you climb back up to the top.
That's and this is Battle Cats. Apparently, this is her favorite part of the show, is Teddy watch.
Yeah. She's got issues, I believe, with Teddy, which we'll discover in the next few weeks, I think.
Oh, interesting.
What did you do?
All right.
This is a Star Trek show. We better start talking about Star Trek again.
I was just getting into that. Redeeming features, I believe.
Redeeming features?
It looks like gold. Tastes like gold.
It is gold.
All right, this is the section of the show where we bring up the good qualities of this episode because there is no bad Trek, just really boring ones or very silly ones. Jason Roy Gaston, we are again going to start with you, and then Philip.
Okay, well, I think that the redeeming feature of this episode was Garrett Wong as Harry. I liked the Harry Kim in this episode. I wish we'd seen more of him. He was assertive. He was angry. I wish we'd seen more of that because it would make sense that Harry Kim would
That's Teddy. He's just been watching. He's going, what the F is he putting up about me?
I don't know what that cocaine is. I don't know.
Okay. As I was saying, trying to make this a Star Trek show again, I liked it. Would make perfect sense that Harry would become more angry and resentful the longer it took Voyager to go home, because this is a young man who's been taken away from his family, been taken away from a blossoming career, because he was fresh out of the academy. His first trip out into space, he gets yeeted to the other side of the universe. He would be upset, and I like that we got to see it in this episode where he is upset and he is more assertive, and he's not taking any crap from people in this episode. It was a few wonderful, fleeting moments, and I liked it. I liked what I saw. I really think that being such an underserved character, there was no reason to underserve him this much, because Garrett Wang has the acting chops, and the building blocks were there. They just never used them. So that's my redeeming feature here is Garrett Wang as Harry Kim. Some of his best.
I think he agrees. He's pretty happy with what you just said there.
Yeah. All right, Philip.
I think I mentioned that the doctor was already, we already covered that, but I also want to say that the Tom and Harry stuff was good. It's only a little bit at the end, but it was nice to see that he says, why Tom saying, I look up to you, Harry, instead of the other way around. I appreciated that. I think they always have good scenes together. And I appreciate that Harry Kim is true blue Starfleet. I'm kind of a sucker for true blue Starfleet guys. Maybe that's why I love Captain Pike so much, because when he's like, no, my loyalty is to Starfleet and my crew and my family. And I like that. So those were the redeeming features, because you're right. There's a lot of stuff that was bad. The guest acting was pretty awful.
I gotta say, because I made a note here. Patrick Fabian is Tamon, the other guy, the only other guy on the planet, apparently. I liked that actor because he played him with charisma and charm while still being a bit of a pig. I really appreciated that. And I found out
what did you say the name of the actor was?
His name is Patrick Fabian.
So it's not Anakin Skywalker from
it's not Anakin Skywalker,
right.
And he's actually high ranking in the Screen Actors Guild right now. And as I say every week, Hollywood, pay your damn writers
and actors.
Absolutely, let's support our writers.
Patrick, the actor should be, yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Patrick did a good job. I was thinking more of the stick girls. There were some
the killer stick chicks were heinous. Yes.
And Patrick, he is in 1 to 2 episodes of almost every series from the 90s.
He really is.
Wow. That's funny. All right.
And he plays about the same guy. Yeah.
I just love the way that every time he talked about, Harry, you should get 3 wives too, if you know what I mean. Harry, we're going to get joined tomorrow if you know what I mean. It just seemed like every single line needed to be followed by, if you know what I mean. I just found it very charming and piggish, yes.
VHS Jace.
Look, I had the mystery I kind of dug. And I laughed at the moment when Harry goes to find Anakin, because I'm calling him Anakin, I don't care. When he goes to find Anakin and we see this, which to me, I laughed out loud of the concept that everyone thinks they're getting, it's going to be a very sensual experience. And basically, they just suck the life out.
Yeah,
well,
they suck them dry, literally.
And I've been married almost 30 years, so I know exactly what they're saying.
I just love the fact that with the blindfold right there, he looks like the he looks like the guy in the waiting room in Beetlejuice.
He does, man. He does.
Yeah.
That's a
you want to
great
figure out?
observation.
I'm trying to quit.
Yeah. But it is kind of brave that they bring in these BDSM elements to it.
BDSM,
and it's highly sexualized. I think that's probably one of the big problems, isn't it? It's the stereotypical sexualization
because
of
it's
the women
poor.
and the goofiness of a man who's just blindly into it,
Yeah.
He has that moment when he's at girl setting and he's going back getting married and he's like, 3. Oh, God. Like, no red flags, buddy. Like, not a too good to be true type of scenario here.
Right. No.
But it definitely moves things backwards in regards to females. Yep, sorry, I just like that pick.
And he's got stuff like boils coming out of him. It's like, what happened? It looked like it was.
I reckon that's where most of the money of the budget went on that
Probably.
thing.
Oh yeah.
No, they just found that thing in storage. Like, put a blindfold on it. It looks like Patrick enough.
Get him in quick. We don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or did everyone in this episode, Janeway, Tuvok, Chakotay, none of them were asking the pertinent questions? Because whenever they go down there to the planet and they're like, yes, we take our fetuses across the galaxy and put them on other planets. Not a single one of them, none of them, not a one said, why?
How'd you do that?
Yeah.
How did you get them all the way to Earth?
Yeah.
So you're committing intergalactic rape, basically, multiple
Pretty
times.
much. But more importantly, how did you get them to Earth and can we use that?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Keep Harry. It's fine. You can have Harry. Just give us your technology.
Yes, I agree.
Get on the Earth real quick.
Yeah, but no one seems suspicious about the red flags. As a matter of fact, the only one who really seemed suspicious was the doctor, and that is why he was so full of himself. Like, I figured out something before y'all did, chumps.
And I'm a hologram.
I don't even have my mobile emitter yet. That's how bad y'all suck.
He's just awesome, though. He can get away and do anything he wants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Incredible. All right, Bill. Anything else?
I thought we already talked about the redeeming qualities.
Yeah, we've already done that.
Yeah,
We've gone around, Joe. It's up to you,
I don't
buddy.
have any more.
All right, come on, man.
Captain.
I can talk about other bad things. I mean, it's exceptionally poor written. I think I'm going to go watch Timeless now to get a Harry Kent episode that is good.
Yeah,
and cleanse the palate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it is kind of ironic because the next episode played for a few seconds after this one was done because I kind of went into a catatonic coma. And it's actually one of the best Kess episodes, which is before and after.
Yeah.
Oh,
so yeah,
That's Voyager in a nutshell, though, isn't it? It's it's a lottery here. There's no consistency over 6 or 7 episodes in regards to quality.
I just burped. I hope nobody heard that.
Don't worry, we'll play that in the highlight reels later on.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a commercial?
Not this week, Joe, but we have a very special message this week to our number one fan.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. The sun will shine, the flowers bloom, the birds will sing a song for you. Happy birthday to you.
Yay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Cosmic Mum. She has been a number one fan, Phil. She watches all of our stuff, and most of it's garbage, but she still watches it and still gets engaged. So we absolutely love her, and we wanted to wish her a happy birthday. But, Joe, there is somebody else having a birthday this week.
Yeah, there's another special
If I put
person.
that amount of effort for Cosmic Mum, I suppose I better put effort for this man down here who's turning, I believe, 75 in 2 days. So,
75. You look
I
great.
remember when television was made out of rocks and we had little marmosets on the inside.
so here's my birthday message to Jason.
They call her the cat lady. People say she's crazy just because she has a few dozen cats. But can anyone who loves animals that much really be crazy?
Happy birthday, buddy.
I don't throw my cats. They don't like it.
They don't like it.
You are the crazy cat lady, though.
I am the crazy cat lady, but I think I've actually found homes for many of them now. So
there you go.
I'm going to go from having a butt ton of cats to only a butt load of cats.
There we go.
So an army to a militia.
Yes, it's an army to a militia, but it's a very effective militia.
That's
yes.
true.
All right, so
It's time.
It's
It's
time.
time.
we got
It's
to
time to spin that wheel, Joe.
in the wheel of agony.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, here we
This
go.
is my
Such
favorite
over dramatic music for
Love
that
that.
bit. For
Hey, it's beautiful. I love that.
Here we go. We're
Wheel
here
has
now.
no honor.
All right,
Now-
so Some of the
Let's
worst
make
ones.
this clear.
What is favorite son still doing there? You guys are
Is
falling down on your job.
I have. So let's get into the secret sauce here a bit. And
Oh, my
let's
goodness.
Oh no, we're getting into our
Why?
sauce.
Where is it? Where is it?
Oh
Let's
no,
find
now
it.
everybody's
Let's
going to be
remove
doing
it.
a wheel of agony.
There we go. See you later. It's gone, right?
There we go.
Bye, killer stick chicks.
Fantastic.
All right. No more BDSM.
Now, what that means, though, is we're not adding many more in at this point because we want to try to even the ledger.
Hold on.
Those blue slices.
Do you have best of both worlds on the Wheel of Agony?
Yes, because
the blue indicate a slice of ecstasy, Phil.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So
All
because
on
we got
this
to the
show-
He put
point.
his glasses
That's
back
what I was
on for that.
trying
He
to.
was like, wait, hold
I
up.
was like, hold
On
on.
this show, we do ecstasy.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Occasionally, when we
lot
can
of
get a
drugs in this
chance.
Occasionally.
We haven't done ecstasy yet, though. Let's
We're
face it.
thinking about
Did we not
doing
phrase it
ecstasy
that way?
every week.
All right. So as you can see, the more we're taking away from the bad episodes, we're not adding any more in because you're trying to eventually watch a good episode. So
Yeah.
are you ready, guys? Anyone have a pick? Anyone has one they desperately don't want to land on here? Sub Roast is right up there.
Card
for me.
hide and
Do
seek.
not want
Sub Rosa is hilarious.
that. Ugh.
Coda, I remember watching Coda and being so bored with it, and I would rather have an episode that's bad than boring.
Yeah. I don't want to watch the hide and seek one from Picard. anymore.
Sub Rosa's the meme. It's meme famous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the episode is so hard for me to watch. I'm like, the memes are way better than the episode. Let's face it.
Right.
I like
All right,
it.
let's
I
do
like
it.
the
Let's-
Irish Planet, though. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose, being a little bit Irish, I was a little bit offended. It's like,
Wait, you're
how
Irish?
leprechauns. Yeah, I've got a little bit of Irish in me.
Wow.
Well, I plan on later tonight.
I don't.
I'm only kidding.
I was gonna say I don't think that drinking Irish beer counts.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, let's just spin this wheel.
Eating Lucky Charms does not count.
Here we go, guys. Where it lands, who knows? Nope.
Close.
We are. Looks like we're headed back to Enterprise.
Hold on,
It's been a
Cogenitor?
long road.
I don't know. Somebody gave me the list of this.
I
Whoa.
love that episode.
Well, here we
got
go.
your wish.
We've got
That's
our
one of the
first
best.
controversial.
That's one of the best Enterprise episodes.
Really?
You got
Well,
your wish.
Yes.
Somebody
I will-
doesn't agree with you, buddy.
I will fight
So,
all of you.
well, I didn't
Wow.
choose it as a bad episode.
Yeah.
I
I'm
left
gonna
that up to the
enjoy
rest of my
this.
team.
I think
And
that
I'm
was
going
an
to
Annie
enjoy
choice,
all of you
actually.
being humbled by how wrong
I think it might have been Annie. Well, you're going to blame poor Annie. He's on the sick list. But it is your fault, Annie. So,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, now you
Oh,
deserve
he's-
what you got.
Chase is getting angry now. I love this. We're going to watch this.
That's
Hey,
gonna be a good one.
hey, we have a special guest for that episode.
Yeah, we got a
correct?
very special announcement. We are going to be streaming next week
Yep.
as opposed to being on our normal live schedule. And there's a reason for that. We're going to have Sean Ferrick as a special guest
back.
in the
Wow.
interview booth. Yeah. Sean
We'll
Ferrick's
be
returning.
back this
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
And if you are new to Sean Ferrick, you can watch our interview and then watch Food Culture.
Well, Trek Culture ranked this episode we just watched as the 5th worst episode of Voyager ever.
wow.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different episode, but isn't this the one where they run into the alien race who has like 3 genders and the
No.
coded...
Oh, he said Voyager. He meant
I
the
said
episode
Voyager,
that
the
he-
one we just
Oh,
watched.
this
not-
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in it.
Yeah, she's fixated on this Enterprise episode.
He's like,
It's going to be a long week
he's
for
got
us,
the
Joe.
Garon eyes.
I'll try to be back and in the chat to offer support
Yeah.
or
It's not going to help.
Yeah, who knows? But there you go. So Sean Ferrick, who obviously, if you know anything about Trek and you look at the internet,
Yeah.
you know who he is.
Yes.
So
he's gonna be
you'll
joining.
have to let him know, Joe. You'll have to let him know that
I'll,
he is.
I'll text him and then we'll get to that.
You're going to text him and he's going to be like, are you bloody crazy? That episode.
Who are you? Stop doing this. I'm
Stop.
putting a
I
restraining
told-
order out on you.
I told you after the inappropriate pics, quit texting me.
I never said him anything terrible. Just maybe puppy
Oh, yeah.
pics. Maybe.
Yep. Oh, puppy pics. Yeah, okay.
That's
That's a good euphemism. Yeah, puppy
Yeah.
pics. Good work there, buddy.
Everybody loves my dog.
Look, we got one more
sounds
segment.
dirty
We
when
can
you
get
say it.
out
Yeah,
of
we got
here.
one that
Can I
after
throw
we-
it?
We do.
Yeah.
No, it's
We have
not
one more
after.
segment.
One more. It's time for stupid Star Trek questions.
Oh,
Yes.
I think we
Yeah,
have
the
2 more
s-
segments because
The stupid Star
There is
Trek-
aftermath after this, but this
Okay,
is the
it
most
needs to be
important
tenfold.
segment, Philip. This is the
The,
most
the
important.
stupid Star Trek question is who put cogenitor on the
one.
wheel of Agony?
Danny, I
Shots
told you.
fired.
Shut
Okay, now this stupid Star Trek
Annie,
question.
everything I said about getting well soon, I take it back.
Oh,
No.
that's
Oh, that's
mean,
horrible.
dude. Wow.
on.
All right. Well, let's hope
Look,
this
look for
question lifts
science.
your spirits. Okay. What happens to the bodily fluid in the holodeck?
Oh, wow.
We have
We're
an
all
answer
class here at
already.
the Agony booth, as you can see.
Jeez Louise.
It's a valid question, though. It's a
But we-
valid. I don't know if
Lieutenant
it's
Barkley
a
knows.
question.
Oh.
We have it. Oh. Ew.
Oh, Barkley. He scooped it
Yeah.
up.
Wow.
You definitely know.
We already have an answer and it's canon. All right.
What's that?
Lower Decks covered it already.
Oh,
They,
explain.
they have filters on the holodeck, and it's one of the worst jobs on the ship is to clean out the holodeck filters.
Oh.
I have a Trek confession to make.
What's that?
Oh no.
I've only seen 2 episodes of Lower Decks.
You need.
So that's just dumb. Before the Enterprise episode, and now saying that, Philip,
Yes.
we've lost him.
I've been offended on more episodes than I thought more issues than I thought I could be offended on.
Oh, man.
I admit
It's a great
that
show, Philip.
It is.
I have a very good friend of mine who keeps telling me it's very good, and I'm gonna give it more of a fair shake. I watched the first episode and didn't like it, and I'm like, oh, I don't really care for this.
The
I
first
don't like
episode
this.
is
I don't-
actually probably one
The
of
worst.
the weakest.
yeah. I didn't
After
care
that,
for
it's
it.
just wonderful.
Yeah.
Then, because I'm such a Deep Space Nine fan, I watched the Deep Space Nine episode, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it another try.
Just stare in awe of the pylons, Phil. Just
Yes,
stare in
just
awe of
stare
the
in awe of the
pylons.
pylons.
Well, you gotta binge Lower Decks so you can enjoy
Strange New
the
World.
Strange New Worlds episodes.
Yeah.
Those
I will
old
tell
times.
you, even only having seen 2 episodes, I got the joke. Obviously, that Boimler is going to fangirl over Spock
Yeah.
all day.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, can I close out this segment, get into Aftermath so
Yeah, let's go.
we can go and live better lives than what we're doing right now?
Join us next week for more stupid Star Trek questions.
Really got to improve on that voiceover.
A
All
lot
right.
of production for.
It is. Production value for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Aftermath.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you go back to your quarters? I'll be along shortly to say hello.
Get more
Oh,
turned
Derek.
on by that clip every week we play it. I
It
don't
is.
know
It is
why.
somewhat.
I have
sensual,
questions to
yes.
ask myself.
All
There's
right.
no questions. It's Garrick. I mean, there's just you just look at him and you're just like, yes.
Yes, yeah, Mike, I think you're right.
All right, Jason. Aftermath. Let's start with you. We're.
Oh no, he's going to start talking about this Enterprise episode again.
I promise I will not start talking about the Enterprise episode until I do. I think that this episode fails in that it takes what could have been a great arc idea for Harry and something that could have been expanded on for seasons after that. Basically, just realizing you're not who you are and how that affects him and his place on board the ship. I feel that was introduced and then it was taken away in kind of a cowardly manner because Rick Berman did not want Voyager to be arc-based. He wanted it to be episodic, which, you know, Ron D. Moore went off and did Battlestar Galactica, where the ship got more trashed every episode. And I remember watching Battlestar, despite the fact that it did have some, you know, glaring negatives towards the end, just looking at that pile of junk ship, just thinking that's what Voyager could have been.
Yeah.
You know, just barely being held together by duct tape and well wishes.
Right.
I just feel like I almost feel like Garrett Wong was not the only one who was being disrespected. I kind of feel like the audience was being disrespected, that we were being spoon-fed information. We were being spoon-fed story points as well. And I think that the biggest perpetrator of this was the scene where he was, and this is going to sound bad to anybody who has not seen this episode, where he's tying up the women. Because his plan was so obvious. Of course, you've got a screen cap of that.
She's into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was just such an obvious plan, and they just draw the scene out, and you're like, yeah.
I
They
can
could
see
have
right
played
there.
it for laughs. They could have, made it look like Harry Kim was falling towards the dark side and was like ready to, get some hot alien tail, and then have them turn around and like run out while they're tied up. But I don't know. I almost feel like that they did not respect the audience enough to do anything more cerebral than what they did. And as a result, we got the Killer Stick Chicks episode where everything falls apart at the end.
And good sticks.
They are good sticks. And of course, Ethan Phillips in the last scene, I'm Neelix and I'm also here. I'm getting my paycheck for this episode.
That's right. That's right. Philip.
I think that most of the characters in this episode, these were filmed as leftover scenes from other episodes. They're like, oh, we have this episode coming up. We need you to film this scene, and we're going to plop it in later. They were from 2 months earlier because it didn't fit together. I think you're right that the reason this wasn't a story arc is because they didn't know who was going to be in the cast for season 4 because they were going to make casting changes. That's a good observation. And I want to know if this episode was written during a previous writer's strike because it doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been a very interesting way to remove Harry from the cast, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have easily just said, yes, this is my place. I belong here. Best of luck on your journey. I'm going to be making sexy times with these hot babes back here.
But that would have been a whole new complaint because you finally give them something interesting to do, an interesting character arc, and then you kick them off the ship.
They did it with Kess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true.
Could you imagine Harry's final scene? Like he's walking away with the women on each arm as they're saying goodbye. It's a very emotional scene. And as he's leaving through the door, he looks at Tom and goes,
yeah. So what would make that even better, though, Jason, is then cut to this.
Yes.
I think that would work perfectly.
I think we've established that in the 24th century it's called Mornhub.
Gornhub. I'm
Gornhub. That's a completely different fetish. That's kind of like a snuff film by that.
Yeah. You shoot up and then babies come out.
Harry leaves Voyager to join the FLDS. That would have been the episode.
There you go.
It kind of makes me wonder in that episode where Captain Kirk fought the Gorn, were they fighting or was the Gorn trying to impregnate him? Because I think that's the first time that Kirk has ever fought against that.
Yeah.
That actually, I'm going to go watch that scene again. That reframes it pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the whole, that's like, making kissy sounds to a Gorn.
Yeah.
The Gorn turning Kirk into a breeding sack is.
Well, it would explain why he put on a lot of weight towards the end of his career.
They
just couldn't find their way out.
We got that skin of steel and William Shatner. All right,
couldn't get past the girdle.
Yeah. What I think after this, I think Harry has mummy issues. That's what I think.
Yeah,
because his mum is mean in those dream sequences.
I love the fact that he associates his mom with Captain Janeway, though.
Oh, yes. I did like that moment.
That was so... I was like, what a great psychological observation. Captain Janeway is Harry's mommy right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only last negative I'm going to say about this episode is this is the worst stunt work ever for a serious accident, is this moment here. Where she's there's just a bit of air and she just falls over.
So it's worse than Worf and the barrel?
Oh, that was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, that barrel was real, though.
Yeah. Okay, she just fell off camera.
I gotta say, though, I really like B'Elanna in this episode. I know I'm kind of backtracking here, but she was unusually pleasant in this episode.
Yeah, I think she was high. She was on fentanyl or something.
She had such a great sense of humor, and everything she said to Harry was so sweet, and I was just like, I don't know. I know that, and I love B'Elanna. Please don't get me wrong. But there was always this stereotype that to be a strong, assertive woman in the 90s, you had to be angry all the time. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like they did that with B'Elanna. I like happy B'Elanna.
Yeah, she had a good week, I think. That was a good week.
She would have never been as forgiving on that bridge issue with Harry. He's like, I'm just going to do what I want, not follow orders. If Seven had done that, B'Elanna would have stabbed her.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Alana, I'm so sorry you got hurt. It's okay, Harry. I'm so high right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
Exactly. You know
Don't
the doc's
forget
got
to
the
bring
good
a
stuff.
towel.
Don't forget to bring a towel. All right, Jade, VHS.
Get us
Jade.
out of here. Get us out of here.
Are we
Finish the
into,
show, Joe?
Yes. Are we into our rant segment?
No, we kind of missed Rant. He had his chance. It's gone.
Oh wow.
He's going to have a rant, I believe me, next week. You didn't have a rant organised, did you, Jay? Sorry if we did forget that.
No,
You
okay,
didn't.
see?
So we're all good. But you know there's going to be double one next week now.
Yeah, it's his time
Yeah.
to shine. Yeah.
It's actually going to be just a whole hour of his rant.
Rant to get Sean Ferrick's like, did I bloody sign up for this? All right, so
Don't you dare sign off, Sean Ferrick. I know where you live.
Thank you so much, Phil, for joining us. I hope you had
Hold
a little
on.
bit of fun.
Hold on.
Oh, go for it.
Are we not going to talk about the Strange New Worlds trailer?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, we can. Absolutely. We could absolutely talk about one of
Yes.
the great
I know we
trailers,
mentioned
I
it earlier, but their latest trailer, look, I am such a mark for Strange New Worlds because it's the crew of the Enterprise exploring, and I am so excited for season 2. I think I watched that trailer 6 times. That's all I got to say. Looks awesome, and it might get me to watch Lower Decks faster, like you said
Wow.
earlier.
You just need to start watching.
You know
it
what
now.
I love about that trailer is the visuals. I love.
They're
Like I'm a big fan of
beautiful.
like 1970 sci-fi novel covers. Like I love that artwork. And they specifically, in a few moments in that trailer, do something straight out of that. I just love the fact they're really leaning into that art style of that period. Yeah, it looks great. Though I will say in the poster that came out, there is somebody missing, and that's the new engineer. So I get the vibes that she ain't going to make it kind of by the end
She
of the
had
season.
2 seconds in the new trailer.
2 seconds in the trailer and not on the main poster. She's
Yeah,
a
you're
goner.
right.
She's
I
a goner.
just, yeah, Carol Kane
Heard
is
she
going
retires
to
and-
be in
and
like
drives
3 episodes. She's going to walk out. They're going to say, you know, Chief Engineer Kane, you're the only one who can save us. What should we do? And she's going to go and then like explode.
Yeah, because this is Spinal Tap with engineers, basically.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Drummers now.
Yeah. It'd be funny if the Gorn get her too. Like it's not going in the Gorn just kill him.
Oh gosh, what if she's with Uhura? And like this is how Uhura is
no.
traumatized every season, is that she has to watch a new engineer die.
Yeah.
No, oh my God, they killed him.
It's just 7 seasons of trauma after trauma for
Trauma,
Uhura.
Hey,
To
How-
the point
how
where
awesome-
when Scotty shows up in the 7th season, she's like super careful with him. She's like wrapping him in bubble tape and everything.
How?
Hence
I gotta-
the attraction later on, because she's like,
Hey.
"You're still alive." I'm really turned on at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's me. I really liked the attraction between Uhura and Scotty in Star Trek.
Yeah, I was
5.
down for it.
And they never followed up on it. But I was like, yeah,
Oh, it
those-
was alluded
those
to
two-
pretty heavily.
Those 2 kids are good together. I like them.
Hey, the packet of chips moment, that when she brings a packet of chips for him, says it all, Farns.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could have been an intimate scene.
Yes.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Scotty had been doing some level 3 diagnostics on her communications equipment. If you know what I mean.
Real classy show, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, how about the look of joy that Ortega's has when she's in that ship coming
Oh,
down?
she loves her job, doesn't she?
Oh my God, because she never gets to go on away mission, so now she's
Yeah.
going on an away mission, and the look of like, yeah, let's do it, like that excitement.
I wouldn't.
I
want
like
her.
Ortega.
I wouldn't want to be in a car
like
with her
Ortega's.
driving though. I love her
No.
to death, but I'd prefer not her to be a driver in a car. I mean, because we're getting a speeding ticket minimum.
How about
Although-
Spock and Chapel though?
That
I mixed feelings about that moment because
We don't
biased
know the
between-
we don't know
Don't
the
know the
context.
Nah, okay, we'll
And
go
we
with.
know that we know Chapel's hot on Spock. She groks
Didn't
Spock,
she say,
so to
"Let's
say.
just go with it"? Doesn't that the
Yeah.
line that she says? Let's just
Yeah,
go with
and
it.
you know, I get isn't this like 7 years before Amok time? And
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe something might be going
6 to 7.
down.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes,
Maybe T'Pring is not available and Chapel is,
On
and she's
par.
only too
Well,
happy
Pring
to help.
finds out she's going to be pissed. I can guarantee you that.
to the
It
death.
would also give her a reason to, do what she does
I
later. That'd
think-
give her more.
Well,
I think there's a lot of room to play with the Spock Chapel stuff because the tension we have in TOS over Spock and Chapel is so palpable, but they never actually articulate what did or didn't happen. So I think there's some room in there.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
a good point. That's a great point.
Good point. And that actress, very sweet young Aussie girl.
Bush.
Trying to represent.
She's great.
She's
Yeah.
Australian?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Half the people in Hollywood are Australian by now, which that's how we're taking over.
You guys are slowly taking over.
The other half are Canadian.
Yeah, yeah. That's very true. I really am curious to how they're going to play out the Strange New Worlds crossover, because it's like, how do they get there? Because they're in
travel.
Yeah,
as
but
long as it's not holodeck, I'm going to be happy.
Oh God.
Yeah, if it's, I agree with that statement. If it's holodecks, I'm gonna feel cheated.
That will be the Borg on Picard all over again. It'll be like, really?
Yeah.
Well, let's see how it works out. Okay, that was not that bad.
Yeah.
But so you're saying time travel for sure?
I think it's time travel.
I think it's time travel also. And it's going to be something so stupid that it could only come from lower decks.
Yes, because it'll play a joke on itself about it being time travel. That's what makes Lower Decks so smart. They're very.
We borrowed the bounty and went around the sun a bunch of times, and we ended up here.
It'll be a slingshot joke. Yeah.
In Picard season 2, they talked about there was a throwaway line where they talked about time travel, but they didn't have Spock, and he's kind of the expert on how time travel works. There was like a throwaway line there, so I don't know if Lower Deck somehow ends up in the past, and they're like, well, Spock's here, so we could go find Spock and he'll figure out how to send us back.
That is extremely the most logical thing that's been said all night here.
You know what would be kind of funny if it was not just Mariner and Boimler, but somehow the entire Cerritos that got thrown back in time.
Oh, that would be cool.
And
what did I say to you yesterday, Jason?
And Pike is just like going crazy about how advanced this ship is and what a beautiful technological marvel this is. And here's everybody on the Cerritos thinking they're on the junkiest ship on the fleet. And they're just like, oh my gosh, Pike thinks we're awesome.
Yeah.
I would like the idea if he does transport over there that he becomes animated form.
Yes,
so every time they're on the ship, everyone's animated.
Like he's going to show
they're
up
on the
he's going to show up on their episode as animated
and never explain it.
Yes.
Never explain it, because I think that would make it even funnier.
Mm-hmm. Or you could do Roger Rabbit. That would have been another way to go with it.
You could have, but I think it would be cooler.
Well, it was too opportunistic, because how often do you have the voice actors looking exactly like the animated characters they're playing?
Somebody thought ahead.
Yeah, I think so.
They have to, didn't they? Because that's perfect. And I don't think it's ever happened before, has it? That you've ever had an animated... I can't think of anything.
I think SpongeBob did it at one point, because they had Tom Kenny and
in a suit.
They had them actually play themselves in an episode. But they don't look like they're animated characters, obviously. So somebody put thought into this, and
we never had that cat helmsman from TAS. Anywhere else. It wasn't a cat.
We did see Caitians in Star Trek for the Voyage Home, though. So that species is canon.
Oh wow! Mm-hmm.
Which if they showed up in his Trek show, they're canon. But yeah, I think this one's the one I'm looking forward to the most, is just seeing what kind of shenanigans they get into.
And because Tawny and I forget the guy's name,
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid are like their characters on Lower Decks, because I've seen Tawny in they did this show, a comedy show on Netflix about it was like a murder mystery. And it was silly, and she acted just like her character in Lower Decks. I'm like, is she really like this? Like in person? Is this like a Bruce Willis thing? So I'm very excited for this.
Minor plug, Jack Quaid. I'm working on an episode of my show that features Dennis Quaid, who was in Breaking Away.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor. A brilliant actor.
Yes.
4 decades of really wonderful performances.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
I'll watch that for sure. I'm a big fan of Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. All right.
Space rocks.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up. We're going to have Spock say "Live long and prosper" real quick.
You live too.
You
live. Yeah, that is a great delivery of a line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see on Instagram Jack Quaid standing in front of the television as that moment's coming up, reenacting it? Sort of like Fourth, fifth wall stuff.
Yeah. This is a good one. Clone
That's,
Wars.
and
Yeah,
that's
that is
correct.
true.
How do we miss that?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we miss that? That is very
Because
true,
it's
Devin.
Star Wars.
Hey, yeah.
Whatever.
Thank you, Devin.
Whatever.
Yeah, well done, Devin. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that wraps up this episode of the Captain's Quadrant. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to like. Please be sure to follow our good friend. This is Phillip Brian. And check out all the fun stuff he's doing on his channel. And join us again next week streaming. So just keep that in mind. But with our very special guest, Sean Farrick. This is going to be very exciting. And we will see you next time.
See you guys. Happy birthday, Cosmic Mom.
Happy
Have a
birthday,
great
Mom
day.
and Jason.
He better bought you a really good present. We'll kick his
She got
ass.
an
See ya.
iPad. It's okay.